Okay, Kevin and Keith here back with the 10 Best Bets Plus series. Listen, we're going to go ahead and talk about chapter 4 and the numeric value of cards. And Kevin has a shoe here, and he's going to explain to you how he utilizes the numeric values of cards and kind of the triggers that they set up and how he interprets it. And Kevin, we have this shoe here from March 1st. I'll turn it over to you. We have the first hand, so if you want to tell folks how you look at this, and this shoe was particularly good for this strategy. Go ahead.
Well, Keith, it's pretty simple, and it's very complicated.
Okay. Okay.
And all it is that all of the banker and player results
Uh huh.
do end in some value of 8/6 or 4/2 and or 3/1 or 9/0 or 8/0, whatever.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
what we're talking about is what I want to talk about is that sometimes you're just going to have these shoes where one side is dominating and you can predict what's going to keep happening by just the value of the cards. For whatever reason they're coming out to the shuffle or whatever, but one side's getting all the good numbers, the higher numbers, and one side's getting the lower numbers.
Okay. So we have a shoe here. I guess and this is one that was played at the Aria, I guess, and this is one that kind of stuck out for you. You want me to do a couple hands here, Kevin, and you can kind of recall what the
Well,
what.
no, no. Okay. What I want you to do is I want to write down after each hand or tell you what the results were.
Okay, so
At the first hand, it
uh
was a banker 7 and a banker 2. Okay.
okay,
So I wrote that down. Okay.
okay,
So it's the beginning of the shoe,
yeah,
Keith. I can't
no,
do much
I
with it.
right, of
Okay.
course
That
not.
was a player 8 and a banker 0. That was a natural,
Yeah,
by the way.
okay, and then here's the third hand.
Okay. That was a player 5 and a banker 0.
Okay, here's the next one.
Okay. That happened to be a player 4 and a banker 1.
Okay,
Now, okay, that happened to be a player 9 and a banker 7.
okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, player 9. Yeah.
Then it went over to bank on hand
Okay.
6.
So that was a banker 4 and a player 2. Got it.
Okay. Then we went here.
Okay. That happened to be a banker 8 and a player 3.
Wow.
Now see, now it's going, yeah, it's going the other way again. That happened to be a player 7 and a banker 6.
Okay. Okay, so now it's chopping a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing here, numerically. That was a bank 6, okay, and a player 3.
Okay. And we had another banker on hand 10, it says here. Okay.
Yep. That was a banker 8 and a player 2.
Okay. Now, do naturals have, when you look at this strategy, Kevin, do naturals have any significance to you when you're looking at the numeric values or no?
Um, they do, but right now we've got 2 naturals on the bank and 2 naturals on the player.
Okay. Okay. So they're kind of equal. Okay.
But I know there is a thought process that naturals either repeat or they truncate and it switches to the other side. But that's a different topic. You
Yeah.
know.
Okay. So I just wanted to know if you segregate that out when you're looking at it. So basically, no, but they're equal anyway. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's certainly a topic to explore. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. And we will. There could be a kind of the hand 11 was a banker. What was the score of that then, Kev?
the banker was a 8, but it wasn't a natural.
Okay.
Player was a 0.
Okay. So are you thinking anything at this point, or were you still kind of evaluating?
Yeah, I've got to still keep evaluating. Let's see. I'm going to look at the
Hand.
Bank's got two
Yeah.
sixes, 1 7, 3 8s, and the players got a lot more lower numbers than the bank, but not enough yet to make a decision.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, was that another one, Keith?
That
You
was
did?
another banker at hand 12 there on your, so whatever that was.
Yeah, that was a banker 9 and a player 0.
Okay. Yeah, there's a big disparity there. That's interesting. Okay, let's go to hand 13 and you can tell us what that was. That was a
Okay,
banker.
that was a banker. That was a banker 7 and a player 1. So
Okay.
let me stop you right here. Okay, if you can you stop?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, so if I look at the bank side, I got 2 6s, 2 7s, 3 8s, 1 9. If I look at the player side, I've got a whole bunch of low numbers.
Right.
So if I was going to, implement this particular, way to play, there's no methodology to it. It's simply looking at who's getting the good cards or not.
Okay.
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 So right now the bank's getting the better hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I was going to bet, I would bet that the bank would win again. I mean,
It's just in that. Okay. And there it was. And of
okay,
course,
well, okay, it did,
yep,
and
it did.
that happened to be a bank 7 and a player 1 again.
Okay.
One, one.
So how long would you stay on that side, Kevin, now if you're betting
Well,
this?
well, what I would do, Kate, if I was doing this, and I used to do this in Biloxi a lot, by the way.
I know, yeah.
I would say that we're in a situation where the disparity of the banker and player, okay, it's only 8 to 6. It's not real high, but
Right.
for some reason, the banker's getting the 6 on up numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Right.
and the player's getting a lot of the 0, 1, 2, 3 numbers.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. And so do you find let's go to the next one. Now the next one, hand 15, was player. What was the score of that, Kevin?
Okay, that
Hand
was four player to 3 banker.
Okay, so that was pretty tight. Still low on the player, even though banker. So at that point, Kevin, would you still bet banker because player is
I,
still
I would, because I've had a really high incidence of whatever on the bank.
okay?
So I'd bet bank.
Okay, so there it went. It was player at hand 16.
Okay, so we lost that one. Let's see. That was a player 5, a banker 2.
Okay, are you still on
I'm
bank?
I'm still I'm just going by the numbers, Keith.
Yep.
I'm still on bank.
Okay.
Bank's getting the good numbers.
Okay.
There it is.
There it
That's a
is.
natural. That was a natural. Okay, that was 8/4.
Okay. Now with this strategy, you tend. This is kind of like uh, you get to bet a couple more hands with this when it's hot, when a side is hot, so to speak, with
Yeah,
getting
yeah. This is not one where you sit out and wait and whatever. You're
right.
just the cards are coming out, and for the reasons that I've described, for whatever reason, if you will, the cards are coming out in favor of the banker right now, even though the disparity is not real high.
Yeah, right.
But
That's
but
what's
but
interesting, and I think that's the point that needs to be made. Correct?
right, right.
Yeah, yeah,
The getting the better cards.
the better card. So these games are characterized by a lot of repeats on one side or the other,
Yes.
and sometimes the disparity is with respect to events or banker player are pretty tight. That's a characteristic of a game like this. So there was another bank at hand 18. What was the score of that, Kevin?
That was 6-2.
Okay, so you're still gonna stay on this.
I'm gonna stay on the bank because they're getting the better cards.
There, hand 19. What was that score?
That one was 6-1.
Wow. And then yet again another bank.
And again, I'd be betting this, Keith. That would be the bank there is another natural. That was an 8-2.
Yeah, I've seen you bet games like this,
Well,
and
let me just stop you right here.
yeah,
Okay, can you stop?
Yeah, I can. Sure.
Okay, good. We've got on the player bank side, I've got a 2, a 1, a 2, a 1, a 4.
Right.
I've got 1, 2, 7, 4 or less on the bank side, and on the player side, 4 or less. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a real big disparity with the
and, and,
scores.
and
And
let's talk about the big numbers.
right.
Okay, the 6 and above. Okay, on the bank side, we got 4, 3. I got 13, 6 to 9. Okay, on the player side, I've only got 4
Okay.
that are from 6 to 9.
Yeah.
So again, the players getting the low numbers, the bank's getting the high numbers.
Right. Huh.
Look at the look at the red versus blue dots there.
Yeah.
It doesn't really show up that way.
No, it doesn't. So
You know what I mean?
you
The what's your the it's a wide range of the 0 through 9 end result of the hand. Okay, but it's much wider when you analyze the actual results.
right, right, and that's what you're seeing. So at this point, you'd probably be on banker yet again here until
I
you
would
see
be
some
on
sort
bank.
of shift. Let's
Absolutely.
yeah. So hand 21 was a bank.
Okay, got it. That, that
What
was
was it? Go
that
ahead.
was a 5/0.
Well, you got that one. And again,
Okay, I bet bank again.
and it went to
Okay,
player.
okay. That was a player 7.
Okay.
Yeah, the bank 4.
Okay. And then it went right back to bank again.
Right. I'd be right now. I'd be staying on the bank until it just doesn't turn out. Okay.
Right.
That happened to be natural. That was actually a 9/8.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the next hand. Yeah, there it is again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a bank 7 and a player 2.
Wow.
I'd be betting bank. Yeah. Okay. Another natural 9 over a 4.
So these are kind of they're kind of what's funny is it can be a mirage of a strong side, but it kind of goes back and forth, it seems. And it's a rare game. But if you find one, it's a good game. It's one of the few games, I think, Kevin, that you would recommend betting a lot, betting
Yes.
more hands, betting
Yes.
more
Yes. Yes.
hands,
And again, if you think about what's happening, okay, and yeah, obviously it's showing itself as strong side, okay, but before I go to the casino, Keith, I decide what I'm going to play.
Yeah.
Okay, now understand, I've got a hammer, a couple of screwdrivers, a wrench, okay, a pair of scissors, whatever, in my toolbox. But I'm looking for something to be happening. If it's not happening, I switch. I change gears. So this is just again one of the tools in the toolbox.
Right, right, right. And it is a tremendous what if you find a game like this, the bias really holds, but you got to remember it could switch to the other side, so don't confuse it with a strong side. Well, let's go to hand 27. We did 26, 27. I know you're on banker for a couple of these, so you've hit all these.
Yep. Yep.
29. Now, okay, so there's 30. At hand 30, it went over to player. You're probably still going to stay on banker here, I would imagine.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Right now, if I look at it, we got 19 bankers. It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've only got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 9 play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 10 players, so we got
Yes.
9, 10. But again,
The
I'm going to keep playing that strong
score.
bank side.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And
uh,
so what cautions you is this run at the beginning, and what you're looking for is you want to be cautious. There was hand 31, stated player.
yeah,
What
that
was
was a
that? What was that? What was that
player
score?
6, banker 4.
Okay. Okay. You're probably still on bank. And it came right back to bank. Hand
Yep, yep,
32.
yep.
Okay.
That was a 7/2.
Okay. Bank again.
Okay, that was a 6/1.
Yeah, still a big disparity on bank. Okay, back to player. So now that's a little different there. You got 3 players and 2 bankers over the last 5 hands. What was that score? Any significant?
Yeah, that happened to be a natural. That was a eight player and a 3 bank.
Okay. Oh, right back to bank. So you're still on bank.
Okay, well, yeah, like you say, I'm staying on bank. That was a natural again. That was an 8 bank and a 3 player. That's the exact opposite of the last hand.
Yeah.
You
And,
know, a lot of
and
people talk about these things reversing. The naturals.
okay, now we're getting a couple zigzags. We're at hand 37. Okay, hand 38. Now we have
Okay,
a
so,
run of
so
zigzags.
don't stop right there.
Yep.
Okay, so now, even though numerically the bank has a really strong advantage over the players' cards,
Right.
all shoes, not all shoes, virtually every shoe you will ever play is going to change. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this is going to change back to the player. I'm saying this could be banker still, but I'm going to sit back a little bit now and say, give me some shoes. And I'll tell you what the scores are, whatever, but
Right.
I'm not going to be eager to bet,
Okay.
because
Yeah, it started going back and forth. Let's see. Okay, so hand 39 was another player. What was the score of that hand? Hand 39.
4-3.
Okay. Still a little low on player.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now that's the first. Now you got a 3 in a row
There's
play.
a natural on the player. Okay, that was a 9-2.
Uh-oh.
There's another one, natural 9.
Okay.
There's a 5.
So now, of course, you're going to be off banker with this occurring, Kevin.
I'm not
Of course.
doing anything right
Right,
now.
right. Okay, there's the banker.
Okay, okay. Well, that was a 5-2.
5-2. Another banker.
Okay, that was a 7-1.
Wow. Back to player.
Well, okay, that's another natural on the player. That was an 8-7.
Another player.
Another natural on the player. That was an 8-3.
So you're still no bet. Nothing yet.
Yeah, I'm not betting right now. No,
Now you got another player. So it
no.
definitely switched.
That's 3 naturals in a row, 3 8s in a row. That was an 8/5.
Okay. Now you got
Wow.
another player.
Okay, that was a 7/2.
Okay, so did
So
the
here's where I start thinking to myself, we have the concept of shoe changes. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking
right.
about the numerical value of the cards. And if I look at, in the last, 12 hands,
Okay.
okay, I've had 9 players and 3 banks.
Yeah.
And I can tell when I'm marking my card with the scores that I'm definitely marking more on the, higher spectrum of the player side than I am on the banker side.
Okay. So
So
because of the character of this game, are you going to bet player now because of the numeric
uh,
values?
I would, yes.
Okay. So let's see if you catch the next hand. You got it. Okay. Well,
Okay.
for
And
hand 48.
that was only a 3/2.
Yeah. So that, and then you get it again.
Okay, well, that was a 7/1.
Okay. So now the numeric bias seems to have switched.
It switched. It has switched.
Yeah.
So what I'll do, Keith, if you could, what I do is I draw a line on the page.
Uh huh.
Okay, so the numbers I've got at the top of the page, where I've drawn a line vertically across the page. No, I'm
Right.
sorry, horizontally.
Okay.
And now I've got my columns 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a 0, on both sides.
Right.
All of a sudden, I can see that we've had not just a shoe change visually, but we've had one numerically.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to keep betting player for
Player.
the moment. If I'm going to make any bet, I'll bet player.
Right. Oh, you got that one.
Okay, was another natural. That was another 8,
Yeah.
8/4.
Yeah. It definitely switched to player. Then another player. Yeah.
Okay, that was another 8, by the way. We're getting a lot of 8s from the player all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Eight
Eights.
for 5.
There, there you go.
I bet player again.
Yeah. So it definitely switched to player.
Okay, that's a 6 over 2. Yep.
Oh man.
That's another 8. We've had a lot of natural 8s all of a sudden.
Yeah,
On
you
the
see that every once in a while.
That was 8 over 6. I think
And,
that's a bonus.
wow. There's another one.
Yeah, that's a 7 over 2 again.
Okay. We obviously this changed now. So I'll click through a couple more here.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're just going to bet player and probably stay with it.
a really unusual shoe. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
I,
Let me.
I,
There it was.
I, I wish. How many hands is that, Kate?
65 was on is what we
Okay,
played there.
because I don't count the hands. I just count the columns and rows and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Um, very, very unusual shoe. Okay, that I would but it happens. And what sparked me to do this? Remember, I did this when I was in Biloxi mostly. Okay,
Okay.
but it's a really useful thing to do. And a lot of people say, well, I can't keep track of the game and the scores and whatever. Well, there's a reason that the game is going a certain way. There's a reason.
Right.
There's a reason it's a player or banker. It's because of the score.
Yeah. Yeah. And at first it was like the score was there was a lot of disparity. Like the you wouldn't see it like at the first part here where it was equal banker and player, but the bankers started to have bigger numbers, and then it really kind of took off in the first couple of hands. I'm sorry, and then there was that transition back to player, which is kind of that's what you want to see. What numerically is well, now it's starting to get closer and mix up a little bit, which produced ones and twos, and then it swang. Swang, is that a word? It swung. It's swung over to player, and then the numeric values, became there was a lot of disparity in the numeric values, and player was starting to get the high hand. So it's a little different. The numeric value is a little different than strong side. Now, you could kind of split it in half and say, well, this was strong side banker and this was strong side
Twice.
player twice. But a better way to do it when you look for this game, because it'll allow you to play a little bit longer, is watch the numeric value instead of the event count. And that's what kicked it off. As this is a game, and it is. You're right. It's like such a great game to find, and they are rare. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but this is one of those that actually happened and capitalized on it. So
This one happened in like large droves. I mean, it happened, a lot of banks and then a lot of players. Okay,
right,
that's
right,
actually a little more unusual than what I see.
yeah,
What I
exactly,
what I mean by that is that if you head up a card, okay, your scorecard at before you start,
right,
and it's just like I'm playing the bank and the player. Okay,
right,
and the bank uses just 0 through 9, and the player is 0 through 9. Okay, and
yeah,
after each hand, you just record the scores,
yeah,
and you
exactly,
look at it and you say, "Whoa, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row on the player side. There now one went bank. Okay, and now there's 3 more players. They're staying. The numbers are staying higher than the bank side for whatever reason.
yeah, yeah,
Okay." And then yeah, it's going to go, it's going to switch eventually probably, or it might switch and then go right back to player again. I mean, you
yep,
might have one of those shoes where it's 47 players and only 28 bankers,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'd be remiss to say, if I miss saying that, of course, the ultimate Baccarat app tracks this very intelligently for you. So, if you're playing Stadium or online with it, and you can use the app, then the app will take care of this for you and
The
let you
perfect
know when.
That's
Yeah,
a perfect example of how to do it.
yeah,
Although, like I say, you can do this at a table. It's so easy.
yeah.
All you're keeping track of is the numerical values of the cards, like 9 over 7,
Right,
3 to 2, whatever. And all
right.
you do is just I don't care what X, what you make them mark however you want.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's not something that this is not complicated. this is not, this is like, we're doing a little bit of fifth grade math again, which is
Yeah.
what Baccarat is.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
on
it's simple. Yeah.
it's simple.
Yeah. Like you said, though, you'll get to bet a little bit more. It's a little different than strong side, but you got to watch the numeric value. So if you like to go fishing sometime and look for a game like this, man, it's a great game to find. It's probably one of the best games to find.
It happens probably,
It's,
at least part of every shoe.
yeah.
Okay. However, it happens a little bit stronger about every third shoe. You're just going to see these values go one side, then the other, then one side. Just
Yeah.
happens. I
Yeah.
don't know why
It's
it
funny
does.
that you had a lot of eights on player there. Sometimes
We had a lot. Yeah.
eight seems to be when it starts hitting eight on the player through hits, man, and naturals, of course, but through hits, that's usually a trigger for this sort of setup that comes, and you got to watch out for it. So it's a really good thing. So, well, listen, Kevin, that's our synopsis of numeric values. If you have any questions, need anything clarified, and we'll reserve the right to add a couple more pluses to this, version A, B, C, and D to our numeric value videos here. So we hope that set it up for you, and hopefully it'll make you a better player. Okay, Kevin. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Bye bye.